Hello and welcome to your skill training videos. In today's video, we are going to talk about emotional acceptance. So, acceptance means opening up to our inner experiences, our thoughts, images, memories, our feelings. And emotions are nothing but impulses in a sense, and allowing them to stay regardless of whether they make you feel pleasant or they are painful. So we can open up and make room for these emotions and drop the struggle with them. Basically, allow them to freely come and go in their own good time. And now, does that mean that I'm going to ask you to resign to all of these emotions, whether or not you like them, or tolerate them, put up with them, and expect you to like them, want them, or maybe even approve of them in some way? But I would like to stop and correct it that this is not what acceptance is all about. Acceptance is nothing but opening up and making room for these experiences by expanding around it and in a way stop fighting it and to give it space and hold it gently and just make peace with it being there. So there is no bending backwards and accepting them in a way wherein you have to like them. All you have to do is create space for them and be around them rather than struggling with them in that moment. If I waved a magic wand and so that these difficult feelings would not hold you back in any way, then that would not make you do things differently in your life. So that's not what we are asking you to do. And so now let me ask you a question. If I waved a magic wand and all of these difficult feelings disappeared from your life, they stopped holding you back, and so what is it that you would do differently in your life? If there is an answer that hasn't popped right out, you can pause this video, take a moment to think about what it is that you may do differently, and you can come back when you have thought of it. So now that you have thought of what it is that you want to be different or do differently in life, I'd say we can try and make that happen. But I do not have a magic wand, and none of you are surprised to hear that. So how could we still try and make these things happen? Then that would be probably by trying and applying a few skills. So we could start by first accepting these emotions, because that would be the first step for changing anything for us. There are 3 A's to acceptance, which are acknowledge, allow, and accommodate. So now when it comes to acknowledge, it is the first phase, which often involves the simple acknowledging a difficult experience and noticing it with curiosity and naming it again in a non-judgmental manner. So now we have learnt how to describe and be non-judgmental in our mindfulness videos. So those skills are going to come in handy now. And this takes us to the next step, which is allowing the presence. So allowing the presence of the unwanted experience and giving it a mere permission to stay there. Okay, that's the second A for acceptance. To allow and to let it be, we can use a bit of self-talk, which often comes in handy, because you can tell yourself that, I do not like this feeling, but I'm allowing for it to stay there. I have given it the permission to be here because I am going to let things be like that for now. Okay, and then this takes us to the third step, which is the most challenging phase, and that is to accommodate this experience. Okay, so to explain accommodate, let me start with a relatable example. So if there is an unwanted relative that has come to your place, you do not have an option to ask them to leave the house. So you will sort of accommodate, like you will firstly allow them to be there, give them permission to enter your house by opening the door, calling them in, and then you may even go a step further, because this relative is not particularly somebody who is harmful in any sense, you just don't enjoy their company. So you may accommodate them by offering them a cup of coffee, or even by showing the new renovations that you guys have done in the house. And so this could be a way in which you have accommodated this unwanted person in your life who you did not really choose to spend time with, but you've still sort of made your peace with them being there. And now accommodate will have three meanings to it, and all of these meanings are relevant in this step. So accommodating will have three different meanings to it, and all of them are relevant when we are applying this step of the skill. So the first one is to provide that emotion sufficient space. The second one is to fit in with it, and the third one is to adapt to it. So when we make space for these unwanted emotions, we firstly will give these experiences sufficient space, we will fit in with them, and we will let them stay for as long as they like, and we will also adapt to then having them living with us. So this brings us to the end of understanding what emotional acceptance is all about. And at the end of this video, you can play the emotional acceptance audio, which is an exercise that you can use to try and practice the skill of emotional acceptance.